Public transportation is the lifeblood of our cities, yet its true purpose is often misunderstood. It is not just about moving vehicles, it is about distributive justice and equity. This means that every citizen, regardless of their physical ability or age, should have an equal opportunity to access education, healthcare, and employment. In Malaysia, as we build soaring skyscrapers and advanced rail network, we must ask, are we leaving our most vulnerable people behind? Today, we explore how to turn the vision of inclusive mobility into a reality for all Malaysians.
Main station sepatutnya ada airconnya.
Ya, yang saya perlukan dari segi kemudahan akses kepada information lah. Macam contoh, tanda signage in braille untuk surau lelaki, surau wanita. Lepas tu clear signage dalam braille juga untuk tanda OKU.
All nations.
Station Stadium Shah Alam highlights several concerns that needed to be addressed, especially for persons with disabilities and elderly. Firstly, the pedestrian infrastructure is incomplete and unsafe. Some walkways are unfinished, uneven, or disconnected, forcing pedestrians to walk close to moving traffic. These conditions are not only inconvenient but also pose significant safety risks. For elderly people, the uneven surfaces increase the likelihood of slips, trips, and falls, while persons with disability, especially wheelchair users and those with mobility impairment, may find it difficult or even impossible to navigate the road independently. As a result, the station does not provide a safe, comfortable, or accessible walking environment for all users. Accessibility is another major concern. There is not enough braille signage and tactile paving to assist people with visual impairments in navigating the station independently without these essential features. Visually impaired users may struggle to move around safely and confidently. The station also appears to have limited staff available to provide assistance. Passengers who need extra support, including people with disability and elderly individuals, may not receive timely help when needed.
Due to the rising fuel prices and increasing cost of living, more Malaysians are choosing public transport as a more affordable way to travel. This growing demand is reflected in the newly opened LRT3 Shah Alam line, which recorded over 60,000 passengers trips on its first full day of operation, demonstrating a strong public need for reliable public transport. However, despite the high ridership, LRT Stadium Shah Alam still lacks of proper pedestrian walkway.
As for research evidence, the article that we got, which is Walkability Assessment of First Mile, Last Mile Public Transport System of Neighbourhood in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Second one, which is National Transport Policy 2019 to 2030. And the third one, which is Department of Statistics of Malaysia, Person with Disability Statistic. And the last one, which is Selangor Auto Prasarana Developer to fix incomplete pedestrian link around LRT3 station.
Our proposed project is called the Malaysia Inclusive Transit Station Program, or MITSP. Our project is unique because it addresses the gap between Malaysia's accessibility policies and their actual implementation. Although Malaysia already has the Persons with Disabilities Act 2008 and Malaysian Standard MS 1184, their standards are not always consistently implemented. During our site visit to LRT3 Stadium Shah Alam Station, we found several accessibility issues. To solve this issue, we proposed MITSP as a mandatory government program for all LRT stations in Malaysia. Now, let me explain how the project works. First, the Ministry of Transport introduced a national accessibility policy and standard for all LRT stations. Next, Prasarana assess every station to identify missing accessibility facilities. These stations are then upgraded with improvements such as braille signage, OKU-friendly walkways, comfortable waiting areas, better ventilations, and accessibility-trained staff. The government finally carry out regular accessibility audits to ensure every station continues to meet the required standards. If a station does not meet the requirements, corrective improvements must be carried out. As a result, MITSP creates safer and more inclusive public transport for everyone, especially persons with disabilities, elderly passengers, and families with young children. As you guys can see, this is illustration before and after comparison to shows how MITSP hope to transform existing LRT station into more accessible and inclusive public transport facilities. By strengthening enforcement instead of only introduce more guidelines, MITSP help to ensure that accessibility becomes a standard at every LRT station, not just a choice.
Our proposed accessibility improvement is designed to make LRT3 Stadium Shah Alam station easier, safer and more convenient for everyone, especially elderly passengers and persons with disabilities. The station is strategically located along Persiaran Kerjaya next to the Shah Alam Stadium and the Shah Alam Aeon Mall. The station serves an important transport hub for nearby residential neighborhood, commercial areas, educational institutions and museums.
Next, I will explain the technology and operational sustainability of our project. The first crisis is flooding. Floods may disrupt transport services by affecting stations, roads, and accessibility facilities such as lifts. To minimize the impact, our response include inspecting and repairing ramps, lifts, and tactile pavement as soon as the flood waters recede. At the same time, trained staff will assist persons with disabilities, senior citizens, and other passengers who require additional support, ensuring that transport services remain accessible to everyone. The second crisis is a power outage. In this situation, emergency generators and battery backup systems provide electricity to essential facilities such as lifts, emergency lighting, and passenger information displays. A generator is a rotating machine that produces electricity when driven by an engine at a specific speed. Modern generators are equipped with built-in electronics regulators that deliver stable utility quality power, making them safe for sensitive electronic equipment and essential transport system. Backup communication system also ensure that important announcements continue, while the staff are prepared to provide manual assistance whenever necessary.
Building an inclusive public transport system require a strategy and realistic financial layout. Our proposed accessibility project come with a total estimate investment of RM355,000. The breakdown target key physical upgrade, we are allocating RM30,000 for station ramp and RM25,000 for braille guidance path. For visually impaired user, our largest infrastructure allocation is RM120,000 for 100 meter LED cover walkway. To ensure this budget is highly cost effective, we benchmark a real-world project in Malaysia where similar municipal cover walkway frequently range from 500,000 to over 700,000 ringgit. By optimizing our scope, we keep our infrastructure highly efficient. An additional 90,000 ringgit ensure station comfort throughout the ventilation and priority setting, alongside 19,000 ringgit dedicated to accessibility staff salary, uniform and specialized training such as sign language classes, aligned with the Malaysia customer service benchmark. Every ringgit in this 355,000 ringgit plan is optimized to transform our public transport system into a safe, dignified experience for our elderly and disabled community.
The proposed project will deliver significant benefits to both passengers and Malaysia's public transport system. First, it is expected to increase LRT ridership by providing safer and more accessible facilities for persons with disabilities, elderly passengers, and the general public. As more people choose public transport, dependence on private vehicles will decrease, helping to reduce traffic congestion, especially during peak hours. Increased LRT usage will also contribute to environmental sustainability by lowering carbon emissions and improving air quality. In addition, the project promotes social inclusion by ensuring that everyone can travel safely, comfortably, and independently, regardless of age or physical ability. Overall, these improvements support a more efficient, inclusive, and sustainable public transport system while enhancing the overall passenger experience.